In this episode, we're going to be putting these Rinehart slip-on mufflers on my 2019 Harley-Davidson Heritage. Let's go. Hello everyone and welcome to today's episode. If you're new here, this channel is Throttle Reborn and this channel is all about my experience returning to motorcycle riding after having a break of about 3 decades. Now this is my first Harley-Davidson, so that's what this is all about as well. And today we're going to be talking about the Rineharts that I've put on my bike, taken off the factory exhaust and going to the Rineharts. All right, one thing I wanted to talk about was why the Rineharts. I actually like the Rineharts. I've seen some of the other slip-ons, not really. I kind of think these look closer to the factory ones. That's just in my opinion. I actually really like them. They are a little bit shorter, but I do like the look of them on the bike. I think I prefer the chrome tip ones, but you know, these had the black tips. Now, I picked these ones because I did find them on Facebook Marketplace. They were in an opened kind of main box, but the mufflers were in sealed boxes. They look brand new. It cost me about half the price of the actual pipe, so I was very happy with that deal, and I knew they'd be a good look for this bike, so very happy with those. And also, as far as I knew, I didn't think they were as loud as some of the other pipes, but hearing them, they're actually still pretty loud in my opinion, but they do sound really good. If you want your bike to sound more of that Harley sound, you're definitely going to get it with these. They sound pretty good. Okay, so for this clip, I'm just going to put the microphone at the distance we are away from the bike right now. I'll start that up and we can hear it in its standard form. Okay, so we've got a bit of an idea of what she sounds like standard. We all know they sound a bit like a sewing machine. So we're going to change it to the Rinehart pipes and see how we get on. Okay, so to get underway, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the bag off. I'm not going to do this in full detail. There's a lot of videos out there. It's not actually that big a job. It's just a couple of brackets and stuff. So I'm not going to go into a lot of detail on taking this off. I'm going to take off my saddle bag to make this a bit easier, undo the mufflers, and put on the Rinehart slip-ons, and then we'll fire it up and see how she sounds. Okay, so they've come off pretty easy. Let's have a quick look. All right, so if I look at this, you can see they've come off. Just gonna probably clean these up a little bit before I put the other pipes back on. They actually come off pretty easy, not that big a deal. Just a couple of these little bolts here, and then you got your clamp. Yeah, once you've done that, that's it, they come off. Now it's worth noting the factory mufflers do have a gasket. So I bought these are separate to the Rinehart kit. You just got to slide them in. They're actually really easy to go in. Let's have a look. All right, so if we're looking at the muffler here, you can actually see, basically you take this end piece, which has just got some little notches, so it only goes in one way, so this goes inside. Put that in, you just slide that down, that's it, and it stops because it's got these little notches. I haven't tried taking the other ones out because it's just worth having new ones, and they fill up these slots, and that's your gasket. Okay, so the new pipes are on. It's looking pretty good. I didn't put the covers on. I just kept the Rinehart mufflers. Got the rear one here. The only thing is I probably need to move the bracket because there is a bit of a gap there I could probably improve on. It does look pretty good. Okay, we're going to see how she sounds. Okay, so I've been on a bit of a ride with these pipes now. I've heard them. I've thought about how they compare to the factory ones. When you watch a video about these pipes, they're not going to sound in any video, at least that I've seen. I've seen quite a few, like they do in real life. They're just, you can get an idea. The volume is not something you're going to be able to tell. Now, they are significantly louder, in my opinion. They're not excessively loud, but they are quite loud compared to your factory pipes. And when you do ride, at least that kind of around that idle, just getting going, at least in first gear, they kind of have a bit of a drone, which could be a bit annoying for some people. Personally, I only ride this on the weekends. It's a weekend toy for me, so I'm not that fussed about it. Also, yeah, I felt like it rode about the same as it did before, but you can definitely notice it a lot more when you're riding, and it sounds a lot better than the factory pipes when it's idling specifically. When you're riding, it is a bit noisier, so you've got to factor that in. Normally I wear some earplugs with that quieten the sound about 20 dB. So again, I don't know, I haven't had it out. I've had it up to about 80 kilometers. I have to take it out onto a motorway to really see what it's like riding on a bit of a longer ride, but I don't think it bothers me as much when I'm up and riding. A little bit annoying at low speed, kind of just rolling along. Just my opinion. Now, if you're in your 50s and you're returning back to motorcycling, or maybe you're just getting into motorcycling and you're interested in Harley-Davidsons. Now, I didn't always ride Harley-Davidsons, but that's a topic for another video. This channel is primarily about my 2019 Heritage and my experience riding Harley-Davidson after a big break. If you want to follow along, please like, subscribe, all the usual stuff. And that is very much appreciated and helps the channel grow. Thank you very much. All right, well, thanks for tuning in. That's going to be the end of the episode for this week. Like I said, if you want to see more about my 2019 Harley-Davidson, if you're a fan of Harley-Davidson and you're interested in starting riding later on in your years and maybe returning back to motorcycling, come along for the ride. Thanks for watching. We'll see you on the next one. Cheers.